Yes, okay. Today we are going to learn what do you mean by epic. Every culture and every nation should have the epics because epics has been telling legendary stories of ancestral past. Okay, so we have to first of all being acquainted with the fact from which language the word has been derived. It is a word epikos which has been derived from a Greek word and does mean by a poetic style. A poetic style. Epic does mean by a poetic style. Okay, so every epic has been coming along with moral message. These moral messages are working just as a lighthouse for the generation next. These moral messages are shaping idealistic qualities within the human being. So this epic kind has certain kinds of salient feature. Number one we are going to discuss is a long narrative poetry having moral lesson. Poetry is very efficient medium. Poetry has been creating creative spirit within the human being, and for that reason we are understanding poetry very easily rather than prose. Poetry has been creating understanding between the epic writer and the readers. So poetry is considered as convincible and convenient type for reaching the message. So poetry it is a long narrative poetry. If we are taking example of Homer's Iliad, Iliad has been running within 24 books, and in these 24 books, this is epic, this is very famous Greek epic, and these 24 books has been delivering the story and ancestral past of Greek. Okay, in this epic the story of very princely people, kings, warrior has been imparted. Okay, and in this epic we are encountering with some figures having unbelievable courage. For example, Achilles was the Greek warrior and who was matchless courage. So in this epic he had been fighting for his state to save the honor of his state. We are encountering with Paris, we are encountering with Agamemnon and the emblem of beauty, that is Helen of Troy. Okay, so these epics are imparting this ancestral past, and through this epic we are coming to know what was our past history. Okay, the second is heroes of high rank endowed with unparalleled courage and sublime in characters. These heroes presented in the epics are of high rank. These are either kings, either warriors, generals, lords, nobles, and these people are coming with matchless courage and they are endowed with some divine qualities. When we are thinking in concern of Indian literature, the Mahabharata is very popular epic, and we always have praiseworthy note for many characters, and these characters are imparting virtues and vices. Okay, when we are considering Homer's Iliad, in this epical poetry we are encountering with many kind of people having virtues, vices, a dark shade in their character, conspiracies, betrayal, strong betrayal, mannerism of royal court, palatial beauty of the royal court, and in this way royal mannerism, political theories presented on which fundamental base these epics are built up. We come to know each and everything, and along with the flow of that epic we are just gliding slowly and reaching to the end. And when we are reaching to the end, we come to know that this why it is the household name, why this epic is known to each and every person. So epic has been telling the stories of great heroes. They are warrior, they have matchless courage, they are defeating and they are cope up with their destinies. Their capricious destiny is very heavy upon them. The destiny or the divine order Almighty has been testing courage, has been testing virtues of these heroes, and these heroes are matching the expectations of God. In the sense, they are defeating their destinies. They are cope up with the situation available, and for that reason, these heroes come out. These heroes comes as victorious and leaving behind overwhelming effect. A story of long-winded struggle. Yes, it is very right and true to fact that when the hero or that epical hero or the protagonist of that epic has been fighting and otherwise struggling with his difficulty, he has been leaving behind some kind of moral lesson. Okay, if we are imparting the character or interpreting the character of Lord Rama, he was a king. He was a would-be king, and before that he had been sent into exile of 14 years, and in that exile he faced many kind of monolithic situation. He faced monstrous battles, and he faced many kinds of difficulties he never thought of. Okay, in spite of that, without sacrificing his courage and mental stability, presence of mind, he proved his courage. He proved his capabilities and strength, his efficiency. Till this date, we are worshipping the characteristics or the virtues of Lord Rama, and it is the victory of the epic writer that we are still feeling. We are still feeling the virtues of Lord Rama. Next to it is kings, princes, and warriors. These kings, that the princess, otherwise warriors, they are fighting with fighting with monstrous satans. For example, if we are taking example of Paradise Lost, Paradise Lost is an epic written by Milton, and in this epic we are encountering with the story of Adam. Okay, and he has been living in his heavenly abode, but with satanic intervention he had been sent on the mortal land. So Paradise Lost has been covering his journey from heavenly abode to this mortal land, from immortal to mortal land, and in this way the epic writer Milton has been giving the moral lesson that it is justifying ways of God to a man. Okay, so this epic writer was proving true to fact that these kings and these warriors and these princes, they all have unmatchable courage. They all have they never thought to sacrifice their courage and back to their home. Okay, because they had to leave some moral message for the generation next. Idealism is presented through the characters. Okay, idealism is very necessary because the basic and ethical idea is to put forward some idealism in front of the forthcoming generation. Okay, every epic has been putting forward some kind of ideology, and these ideologies are very necessary, and they are integral fact of that nation. This idealism should put forward to follow by the generation next. And in this epics, the man in universal nature has been presented. The man, otherwise the hero, has been sacrificing all the weaknesses and has been attaining the merit of his personality. And in this idealism, he has been putting proper framework to the human being's life. Okay, the ideas of innovations, novelty, the ideas of morality, ethical code of conduct, courage, never to say die attitude. All these merits are presented through this character, and these characters are so convincible. So in the flow of that epic, we are convinced that these virtues, that divine virtues, should be followed by the generation next if we want to sustain in our capabilities. Next to it is folk epic is of two types. It is first is folk epic, in which we can count Iliad or Odysseus, and the second type is a literary epic, in which we are counting Paradise Lost. Okay. Next feature is 7th feature which are bulky in size. Epics are bulky in size. Paradise Lost has been running in 12 books, Odyssey in 4 books, Iliad in 24 books, and in this way these epics are bulky in size. But what is the need of that story writer or epic writer? The first need is the story writer of epic writer has been choosing the much huge panorama on which fundamental basis he has been writing the epic. Okay, the sublime panorama has been providing the needs of that plot. The plot should be strengthened, the plot should be strong, stable, and along with that plot, many subplots should be interwoven. Okay, and that subplots and in totality plots and subplots should take the responsibility that they should convince the people. Okay, so the plot and subplot presented in the epic should be trustworthy, because this epic there shouldn't be any kind of scope to challenge the beliefs, traditional beliefs. Okay, this the language used in this epic is very high quality. Generally classic languages are chosen for this. For example, Sanskrit, for example Greek, Latin, all these languages have some kind of standardization of status, so they are chosen by the epic writers, and these epic writers has been presenting their soul in the same language. Okay, in Indian concern it is Sanskrit language, in Greek or in European culture it is Latin language, classic language, and these languages are putting forward the sublimes of idea. Grandeur of thought is very necessary. If the thinking is not matching the wavelength of the epic standard, then it is not useful. Okay, so for that reason grandeur of thought is very necessary. This grandeur of thought has been giving a profound fundamental basis to the epic writing. Okay, destiny is very capricious. Okay, and if destiny has been imposing any kind of struggle on this protagonist, and these protagonists are keeping the pace with the challenges. They are never thinking about going on the about going in the background. Okay, with their strength and full capabilities, they are accepting the challenges, they are dealing with the challenges, and they are coping with the situations, and in this way they are proving their mettle. The sumptuous panorama has been proving very useful, and this is the main faculty on which basis the epic will be remembered. Epic will be memorized for the long lasting time. Epics are timeless. Time never influence the standard of epic. Okay, so still we are reading Odyssey, we are reading Paradise Lost. In Indian concern it is the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, Upanishada, Vedas. All are still reading all these epics with great zeal, because we are feeling that we should know our past history, our ancestral legendary characters, and when we are listening their struggle, when we are listening in which way they cope up with their life, and they never defeated back, and followed all kinds of idealistic tendencies, we are feeling that we should worship these characters, and through this feeling we are paying our tribute to the epic writer and even to the protagonist available. Okay, when we are reading that epics, we are finding that these qualities, these virtues should be present, should be followed, and that virtues are sublime in quality. They are universal in tone. Okay, time never can challenge validity of these lessons. In this way, epics are very important for each and every culture, and we have studied all that salient feature. I am again counting that a long narrative poetry having moral lesson, heroes of high rank endowed with unparalleled courage, sublime thoughts, a story of long-winded struggle, kings and princes and warriors, idealism, universal characterization, types, epic style, epic type, folk type epic, literary epic, bulky insights, grandeur of thought, sumptuous panorama. So in this way, these epics are very important to deal with, and we should know the popularity of epic. We are still watching, we are still reading that voluminous books because we are infatuated with that idea presented. We are feeling mesmerized by the struggle in which way stability and peace gained by that protagonist. Okay, and in this way we are reading the epic for getting inspiration of our life. We are influenced, and this influence is long lasting. Epic has been presenting the great panorama. Language is very chiseled, the language is very polished. Okay, and this epic has been inculcating some moral code of conduct, grandeur of thoughts. Okay, in this way epics has been presenting the high sumptuous panorama, and we have to put that idealism presented by that epic on the high pedestal. Okay, human life, human destiny is so capricious. It is heavy upon anybody in any time, and so for that reason, when we want life lesson, we are moving toward epics. When we should know how to behave in this time of darkness, we are moving toward epic. Okay, and and through the epic, like the lighthouse has been guiding the ships, through that epic we are been taking out same influence. Okay, we are when we are in want of peace of mind, we are moving toward that epical lessons, a philosophy inculcated, because every epic has been presenting a praiseworthy philosophy, and this philosophy is very important, and it is a kind of heritage provided by ancestors to their progenies, and to their progeny should follow that particular kind of way of thinking, because we should be classic in our tone, and epic writer has been teaching the same lessons. Okay, so epic is a generation, classic generation or literary generation, which has been presenting idealism, universal characters, virtues and vices, our ancestor past, and our legendary warriors, kings, noblemen, and their life course. Their life course was not so easy. If we are taking out many characters from many epics, we come to know that the life course of every character was very difficult, was very tumultuous, and they face many commotions in their life. They face rising tone of their struggle, and finally they are reaching to their climax. Okay, and this climax, for some characters or protagonists, this climax is positive, happy, pleasant ending, happy ending. But for some characters, this is a mixed feeling, or for some character it was the moment of defeat. So every character has been deriving consequences or fruits of their actions. So action is the predominant feature of this epics. Okay, this long-winded high pedestal actions are proving metals of this epical protagonist. This epical protagonist has been putting forward the lesson. For example, our Hindu scripture epics has been presenting the moral message, idealism, that you should look upon sadness and sorrows and happiness of our life with equal intensity. We should follow all moral code of conduct, not for other people's sake, but for the presence or peace of mind of ourselves. So epics are very interesting and matchless category of our literature. We should worship these epics, because in this garb we are worshipping our heroes, our legendary figure, historical warriors, which have shaped our history. It is very important to note that these legendary figures have shaped our history. And when we are living in this calm and quiet quiet situation, we should pay our great tribute, gratitude to these people. Thank you.